Hi, this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Well, I thought I'd just have a chat about how if you're coming to live in the Philippines, you need to be able to handle the bureaucracy. Now, I always hear expats talking about how completely messed up the system is here. You know, you have to wait. There's always been that whole thing about corruption, that someone, and we had this when we tried to bring my Volkswagen back from Luzon, that it will be made obvious to you that things are going to be very difficult, but it could all be handled, you know, with sufficient money. So you have that. Now that President Duterte is here, I notice that there is a change on that, and we haven't noticed anything like that since. So here's the way that I see it, and how I think that expats are looking at it wrong. Now, they're not always computerized, so there's not always a computer there. This is changing, but sometimes you go in and you'll be talking to someone who doesn't have a computer, so it's all paperwork. So it's all adding a piece of paper here and adding a piece of paper there. Well, yesterday when we went, we tried to get our own situation of handling donations, gifts, all of that in order to do the work that we're doing, and we tried to get that handled. So how did that experience go? Well, it made me realize that there are different departments in the Philippines exactly the same as there are different departments in the US or in the UK. Are they all in the same building? No, they're not. So this is it's an infrastructure. It's an evolving country, and they're getting things together slowly. It may seem slow to us. That's because if you go into a particular department, say in America, where they handle vehicles, it may be a brand new building, and everybody has a computer. Your name is called, you get a number, everything seems to go very smoothly. You can do your registration in one part and then move to another and get your license in another, and everything seems to be so centralized, and of course it is. When you come here, it's not, but nevertheless it does have a way of doing things. Now, if you go in and at the back of your mind you've got your foreigner attitude, where you are thinking in your head that they are a load of hicks and they don't know what the hell they're doing, it communicates. You think it's all behind the eyes. It's not. It's coming out. And they know that. Filipinos don't want to have someone come in and tell them how backward they are. So what you have to do is you have to honor the way that things are done here. And if you are in the wrong department, it's nobody's fault but yours. You have to find out where is the right department. Now, for us, let me run you through what happened with us. Right, we went in and we need to know, how can we make it legal for us to accept donations? We needed to know new information. Now, what we're being pulled up on is a law from 1933, which has not been enforced greatly, and is an old law anyway. So it's out of date. Sorry, I've got barking dogs around everywhere. There must be somebody new on the plot. So looking at an old law that hasn't been enforced greatly, just now and then it comes to light, and it has come to light fairly recently, and so we're under, not under attack, but we have been criticised and said, you've got to be careful, you're not obeying the law. So we decided, well, perhaps what we can do is set up a foundation, because what's happened with the work that we're doing is that it has grown out of all proportion. We started off just building a house for a disabled girl who was suffering from multiple sclerosis, is what we thought. So we went in and we said, well, we can help this girl and we can build a house. And because people had been interested, this is Desiree. So Desiree's story, we were able to build a house. So we built that house for the girl, and then suddenly we are able to do another. That's what we did. We built the second house, and the second house turned out to be 3 houses for Christmas. So now we're in the 4th house that we built, plus we've helped another Manorado to clad his house, get a pump, fit a pump up and do work there. And there are other things. And we heard about this poor woman that has suffered a miscarriage, and she needed help for a couple of months. Could we help on that? And we all that we've ever done is show the stories. So we show the stories, and then because of the generosity of the people that are looking at the stories, we're able to get money to help. And that's what we've done. That's how we were able to help Nisa. That's how we're going to make it possible to save her life, through donations made. But because of the legality of it and the money that's coming in, we've had to go and do stuff which we wouldn't normally have ever dreamed that we would do. Now, when we went in and we spoke to this Department of Social Services that we were referred to from the first. We went to Taliban at first, then we were sent to another place. Well, this is what would happen in any country in the world. If you go in and you're in the wrong department, they'll say, oh no, well, we don't handle that particular kind of thing, so you're going to have to speak to Mrs. Jeffries, and if you're lucky, she's just in another room. But if it's not that way, and it's a whole different department with a whole different building and whole different subdivisions, then you're going to have to travel either a mile or 2 miles or across the city and go to that appropriate department. Now what you're doing is you're honing down exactly what it is that you have to do. Every person that you speak to knows a little bit more. So the person that we spoke to when we went to this other department said, this is not quite what we do. What we do is, and then he told us about what he did. But he listened very courteously to everything that he said, and now what I'm going to do is talk to my superior and see what he suggests. And the superior comes and talks to us. An absolute gentleman, listens courteously to what we did, and was actually really thrilled at what we were doing, and said, right, this is the person that you need to see, because this is her scene. So now we have the name of this lady that we have to go to. I'm not going in cold. We're going to have to go. Beth and I will go and see her, and it will be an English Visayan interview. Right, so what they've done is they've said, well, we'll call her so that she knows you're coming. So we're not going in cold, which is always great. Now, the other thing that they suggested was that probably we will have to have an NGO. And whether anybody knows what that is out there in the West, I don't know. But it's a non-government official of some kind. So what they do is they partner you up with someone else who is in some kind of business administrative position, and you work with that person. And I'm guessing that they're a kind of a go-between. We're learning as we go along. So now we have to, they will give us a list of names of NGOs, and we'll interview them, and we'll find somebody that we can work with who is interested in what we're doing and hopefully works for nothing. Okay, and this will be prior to us creating a foundation for help. Now, personally, I want to keep it pretty much as we've done. So I don't want to end up with a top-heavy organization where you are paying 60 or 70 or 80 or 90% of your donation goes to the administration. I don't want that. You know, at some point or another, salaries will have to be paid, but I want to keep that down to an absolute minimum so that people are talking to a person with a pulse, not your message is important to us, so please hold on. Not one of those situations. I'm trying to keep it on more of a human level, trying to make it so that we continue the formula that has been successful. And that formula has been, we tell the story, as we did with Nisa, the girl with the spinal problem. We tell the story, and people are moved by the story, and they send money. Please help Nisa. That's how we're going to be able to build a house for Nisa, because people were moved and wanted to help. So I want to keep it like that, where money is sent, you know what you're donating for, and you see it happen. Now, Mrs. White of Barnsley, Jackie, said, what I like about what you're doing is that when I send money, I see where it's gone. If I send money for a house for the paralyzed man, I see the paralyzed man's family in a house. And it happens fairly quickly. We're going to try to keep it that way. So that's where we are so far. We're on the books, so to speak, in that they know about us and we are approved, but now we have to get it so that we can show companies like PayPal that we have a permit of some kind, and that will mean that we have to get the NGO, and that will mean trying to find somebody that we really can work with. That's the next hurdle. Meantime, we're going to do the GoFundMe for Nisa, and we're going to have the donations that you so kindly send will go to GoFundMe, and we're going to find the money to get that girl's life saved. That's the goal right now. So this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.